Guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming to you with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Combiner Wars Deluxe Class Mirage. A repaint of the Decepticon Dragstrip. You can see the only thing that's really different other than the paint is he does sport a new head. For the package, you can see you got this nice clamshell here on the side here. It shows Optimus Maximus. He's number 2 of 5. And then the background is actually comprised of, well, plastic, but also the comic book that he comes with. And I absolutely love how, like here, on the artwork, it actually has the screw holes that he has there. Okay, whatever. Well, we can't hide that, so let's just put it in the comic. I guess that's how it works. And then on the back, you can see that the 4 new deluxe Autobots combined with Battle Core Optimus to make Optimus Maximus. You can also use it with that Voyager class Optimus Prime that has the regular G1 colors, and that can become the Ultra Prime, which honestly I think looks a little bit better. But you can see that in true Scramble City fashion, he can become an arm or a leg. Then you got his robot mode as well as his vehicle mode. And then it says, put the cloaking power of Mirage in the hands of a combiner and look out. That's 30 tons of steel sneaking up behind you and walloping you with a punch you can't even see coming. The Decepticons won't know what hit them. That's actually really cool that his power can be utilized in all of them. I think that's really neat. But unlike some of the other Combiner War figures that we already got before, this is the first repaint of the Dragstrip, so he might not be as boring. So without further ado, let's get this guy open and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Mirage open up and out of his packaging. And as you can see, like I said before, he is a pretty much repaint just with a new head of the Stunticon Dragstrip. But as you can see, the paint on here is actually pretty good. It's a little bit lighter than I think I would like, but not really drastically different. It really does give a pretty good Mirage feel. You can see you got some nice silver paint back here for his spoiler. You got some nice silver in the rims. What's weird though is his number here is 62 and then Circuit Racing. It should be 26. I don't know why they didn't put 26 on there. That's really strange to me. But there's no other real markings. You got the Autobot logo right there. Now, for comparison, here's the Classics version, and you can see that the new one is a little bit longer. But basically, in terms of vehicle mode, they are essentially the same. Now, this color here might be a little bit too blue. I kind of would like an in-between color for this. But if I were to pick one that's closer to how Mirage looks, I'd probably say it's this guy. One other thing that I think I would like is maybe a little bit longer of a spoiler. I mean, you can see that with this, it does pretty much just take up the body, and then you have the wheels hanging out. Very similar to this, but I think in general it would look better if it was a little bit longer. Coming over the tires a little, but you can see, though, pretty similar in terms of the style for the vehicle. I mean, that's really nothing that I expected to be all that different. But this actually does come across very nicely, and unlike Sunstreaker, I actually think that this is a pretty good, maybe even replacement for that classic version. Now, you can see that he comes with his hand or foot, whatever you want to use it as, and then he comes with the weird sword gun thing. I do wish that this was painted silver. Probably would give it a little bit nicer of a look, kind of matching this and matching the rest of the weapons that these new Autobots come with. But honestly, for the most part, I think that this is a better representation of the Mirage character than, like I said, we got with Sunstreaker. I think this mold works pretty good here. Now, in addition to all that, you do get his comic book. And like I said, I do find it funny that they actually mold in like the screw holes here on the comic side. That's kind of funny. Then you come around here to the back and you got an extended bio as well as a bit of a background on the character, and then you got his name, group affiliation, things like that. And then you just flip through, and like I said, I don't really read the comics, but you do have a pretty good story going through here. It seems to be a favorite amongst fans. And then you come around here to the very back, and then you got the actual design stage, you got the sketch phase, gray model phase, finished product, as well as kind of like the color code and how you're going to transform. I like how they start, finish. I think that's kind of funny, but I know a lot of people do enjoy these. Like I said, I just don't read the comics, so I don't have much of a purpose for these. They kind of just go into storage with kind of some of the weapons and stuff, but all in all, like I said, vehicle mode, I think he looks really good. I could actually see some people replacing that classic Mirage with this on their actual display. Now, like I said in the Sunstreaker video, because we saw the transformation for this already, I don't need to really go through it. It is the exact same, nothing changes, but if you do need help, I'll put a link down in the video description where you can go to my review of Dragstrip and you can get any help that you may need. But continuing on here, we're going to go from Mirage looking like this to looking like this. And I really gotta say that as much as I was disappointed in Sunstreaker, Mirage here actually looks really good here. Now part of it is with Dragstrip, he's always going to be in Minosaur, so it's not like Dragstrip by himself is going to be separately displayed. So this guy can really be a really nice Mirage in a collection. Now getting the comparisons out right away, here he is. And here's the Classics one, and if you wanted to kind of recreate that same look, you can take this, untab this, and you can rotate this around, and you can still kind of create that same look. But honestly, that's not very cartoon accurate in the first place, so I like the fact that you can rotate this around, tab this in as part of the normal transformation, and have a little bit more of a less busy back. I mean, that looks a little bit better if you ask me. Now, one thing that does kind of stink is I do wish that they put some paint detail on here to kind of replicate the way that his chest was, or at least like remold this section or something to kind of give it a little bit more of a look like that, or something like that. I mean, that would be really cool. And again, it doesn't matter which version you look at, it's still not completely accurate because he still doesn't have his shoulder cannon. I don't know why they can't figure out how to do it, but that would be really neat if you could just sit there and, I don't know, I mean, you could maybe wedge this in there. I don't even know if you could do that, actually, to be totally honest. But, I mean, if you could figure out a way to do that, I mean, that would be kind of neat. It can't really sit anywhere. I mean, you could put it on his peg out here or something, but I mean, it would be nice if they could actually figure out a way to give us his shoulder cannon, because he had it, and that would be kind of a nice addition. But you could see vehicle mode or robot mode here, they at least at the head are about the same height or so, and actually I think that the head sculpt is much nicer on the new one, and it is better proportion. I mean, you can see that this one's pretty tiny. And just in general, it's I really am just a lot more impressed. It's not that this is a bad figure or anything, but you can see that, like, with the way that the shoulder, it just kind of looks weird. This just has a much nicer presence. Like I said, I really feel like this could actually replace the Mirage in a lot of people's displays, including mine. Now, for the combiner thing, it, like I said, is the exact same as that Dragstrip figure. So I'm not going to show it off here, but I will show it off in the full review of Omega Prime or Optimus Maximus, whatever you want to call him. I don't know. But you do have that same exact look, either an arm or a leg. You can bring his hand weapon in here. You can have it be a foot. It can be a hand. One thing that I've also considered doing is, because this is silver, and honestly, I really don't plan on displaying these guys as a combiner, this might actually look good with Superion. It's not white, but it's a little bit better looking than that black, so that might actually work pretty good. I don't know. And then again, he does have his little sword weapon. You can have him hold it like so, but honestly, I think it looks a little bit better just as a gun, so I mean, I think that's a pretty cool look for him. Now, it does kind of give a little bit of an angled sort of look, so you have to be a little creative with the posing, I guess, but all in all, I really do like the guy. I do think that he comes across very, very nicely. Like I said, at least on the comic books, they have the screw holes there, so that's kind of funny. But no light piping on here. That was something that the original classic one had, but I still think the head is pretty nice. It is on a ball joint, so you get a nice range of motion. It is still really stiff. It's almost like the whole section is a little bit tighter, so as you're rotating it, it does kind of feel like the peg is also kind of stretching to actually rotate as well. So I would be concerned over that maybe breaking over time. I mean, as you rotate it, you feel it kind of pulling on that ball section itself. So that's something that I wish they would have addressed in this figure that was also prevalent in the Dragstrip figure. He does have a ball joint here at the shoulder. He also does have the hinge up and down, but that's mostly part of the transformation. Does rotate at the upper part of the shoulder. He's got one joint here at the elbow, but you get a pretty good range of motion with it. Well, actually, no, it is. I think it is two, actually. It's just you really can't see it very well. So you got, like, I think there feels like there's two joints in there. So you do get a nice range of motion with it. Oh, and you can completely move his head back. He does rotate here at the waist. He does have hips that move forward and back on ball joints. He rotates at the upper part of the thigh, but as you can see, it's really quite stiff right there, and it can, if you're not careful, you'll just pull the whole thing off. So yeah, you do want to be careful with that. It's kind of funny. And then he does have a joint here down at the knee. Nothing at the ankles or anything of that nature, but all that same articulation that Dragstrip had, obviously he still does. So as you can see, I mean, the only thing that's really different between this guy and that Dragstrip figure is the color as well as the new head. So I mean, if that's something that you don't particularly like, as I said, my Dragstrip is a part of Menasor, so it's not like I'm going to have two of the exact same figures next to each other. So for display purpose, I'm really not all that opposed to this guy. I think he's a pretty nice representation of Mirage. The color works pretty good. Like I said, I wish it was maybe a hair darker. Like I said, in between that classic one and this one would probably be the sweet spot, I guess, for me. But all in all, it's pretty good. I'm not sure why they have number 62 on here instead of 26. That's a weird choice of a number, but I really do like the guy. I think that while I was disappointed in the Sunstreaker, this guy actually might be the favorite of mine in this new wave. And if I'm going to use any of these new wave figures to replace any of my existing classic ones, this is going to be him. But beyond that, that's about it. Like I said, for the limb configuration, I will show that off in my review of Omega Prime, so look forward to that. But as it is, these guys are slowly starting to trickle out to various retail locations. Or as always, you can get them at Big Bad Toy Store. So all you have to do is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to BBTS where you can pick this guy up as well as the rest of this wave and add them to your collection today. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus, and until next time, I'll talk to you later.